I was wearing an old gray hoodie, the kind you keep because it's comfortable, not because it looks good, and a pair of sneakers that had clearly lived a full life, and I remember thinking if I can just get on this plane and close my eyes, everything else can wait. That was the plan. Simple. Quiet. Except plans have a funny way of falling apart the moment someone decides you don't belong where you're standing. 3 sentences into my day, I learned that lesson the hard way when a woman in a crisp uniform looked at me like I'd wandered into her living room uninvited and decided she was going to make an example out of me. Yeah, that happened. The airport was loud in that tired metallic way airports get when weather messes everything up. Flights delayed people, cranky coffee overpriced and burnt. Outside the windows, freezing rain was smearing the runways into gray streaks, but inside, Gate 61 was still buzzing. One flight was boarding on time, and the gate supervisor, a woman named Lorraine Parker, was guarding it like a dragon on a pile of gold. Lorraine had been there forever. You could tell by the way she stood shoulders back, chin up, scanning people like she wasn't checking boarding passes but judging character. I didn't notice her at first. I was sitting in the priority seating area, half-empty headphones resting around my neck, eyes closed, replaying numbers in my head from a problem I'd been working on all night. I'd flown in from the West Coast on fumes rerouted again, and my brain was still buzzing. Clothes didn't matter, appearances didn't matter. I just needed 5 minutes of stillness. Apparently that was too much to ask. Miss. The voice was sharp and sweet at the same time, like sugar on broken glass. I opened my eyes and saw her standing over me, arms crossed, lips pressed tight. This seating area is reserved. I glanced around. Empty chairs everywhere. Okay, I said, calm, polite. I'm boarding this flight. She smiled, but there was nothing kind in it. That's not what I said. This area is for premium guests. You'll need to move to general seating. I could feel people starting to listen. You always can. The air shifts. I'm fine right here, I said. I'm Group 1. Her smile vanished. Don't lie to me. That was the moment something inside me stiffened. Not anger yet, just awareness. I'm not, I said. You can scan my pass when boarding starts. She laughed loud enough for others to hear. Group 1. Tickets cost thousands. You expect me to believe that? Her eyes flicked to my shoes, my hoodie, my backpack. Please don't waste my time. I stood up slowly. I'm tall, taller than she expected, and for half a second she looked startled, then annoyed. I'm not wasting anything I said. I'm waiting to board. That's not going to happen, she snapped. You're making real customers uncomfortable. Real customers. That phrase stuck. It echoed. She told me to move. I didn't. She threatened security. I still didn't. And then she raised her voice, announcing to anyone within earshot that I was unauthorized, that I was trying to sit where I didn't belong. Phones came out. People stared. A few nodded along like she was doing them a favor. I stepped aside not because she won, but because I wanted to see how far she'd go. I leaned against a pillar, pulled out my phone, and sent one message. Just one. Then I waited. Boarding started. Suits lined up. Smiles returned to her face as familiar names passed her scanner. She became warm, welcoming, almost charming. When I joined the line, the man in front of me turned around and whispered, I think you're in the wrong place. I'm good, I said. When I placed my boarding pass on the scanner, it didn't beep. It froze. The screen flickered, then glowed in a way I'd only seen a few times before. Lorraine didn't look at it. She looked at me. You, again, she said loudly. Your ticket isn't valid. It's scanned, I said. Check the screen. I know what it says, she replied. Step aside. She told the crowd I was trying to board with a fake pass. She accused me of scamming. She demanded my ID, then laughed when she saw it, tossing it back like it was nothing. She stepped in front of the jet bridge, physically blocking it, arms out like she was guarding a secret door. You're not getting on this plane, she said, proud, satisfied. That's when a man stepped next to me. Big guy. Quiet. Calm. He didn't raise his voice, he just asked, Is there a problem with Miss Carter? Lorraine blinked. Just once. Excuse me. I asked if there's a problem, he said again. There is, she snapped. She's committing fraud. I looked at Lorraine and said very evenly, You really don't want to do this. She smiled. Oh, I really do. The scanner chimed again. Louder this time. The screen turned gold. Not green. Gold. And the words flashing across it weren't subtle. Owner clearance. Immediate boarding. The silence was unreal. Even the officers who had just arrived leaned in. Lorraine tried to spin it. Called me a hacker. Accused me of tampering with the system. Said my backpack was suspicious. The more she talked, the worse it got. The man beside me pulled out a badge. Real security. Not airport rent-a-cops. Her face drained of color. I own this airline, I said quietly. You've been blocking me from boarding my own plane. She laughed, a thin, desperate sound. That's impossible. Behind us, the screen kept glowing. Gold doesn't lie. I boarded. You'd think that would be the end. It wasn't. She followed me onto the plane, clipboard in hand, inventing new problems, claiming biometric issues threatening to ground the flight. Passengers groaned. One woman in first class told me to just get off so everyone else could leave. I looked at her and thought, isn't that always the solution when someone doesn't fit your comfort zone? The captain came out. He knew my name, knew my family, knew exactly what that gold screen meant. When Lorraine still wouldn't stop, still insisted she was right, I made one call, put it on speaker, and the CEO answered. Less than a minute later, Lorraine was fired. Right there, in front of everyone. She walked off shaking. The doors closed. We pushed back. I leaned my head against the seat and thought it was over until the woman across the aisle leaned over, suddenly friendly, suddenly impressed. I knew there was something special about you, she said, asking for better service now that she knew who I was. That moment stuck with me more than anything else. Not the yelling, not the threats. The switch. The instant respect once power entered the room. So I had her moved, not out of revenge, out of principle. The flight was quiet after that. I slept. We landed. Back home, Lorraine's video went viral. Millions of views. Comments piling up. Careers don't survive that kind of spotlight. Here's the thing, though. This story isn't really about airlines or status or karma. It's about how fast people decide who you are based on what they see. How easily authority turns into cruelty when no one questions it. And how powerful it is when someone finally does. So I want to know, have you ever been judged before you spoke? Treated differently because of how you looked, what you wore where someone thought you belonged? Tell me in the comments. I read them all. And if you think respect should never be conditional, hit like, subscribe, and stay here. Because stories like this aren't rare, they're just rarely told.